over. So I may be probably focusing on innovation function, then the characteristics of innovation and all that stuff. So shall we proceed? So I'll be handling innovation management for you. Let us see about the first topic or the definition of innovation, which is something like this. Innovation is a process by which a domain, a product, or a service is renewed and brought up to date by applying new process, introducing new techniques, or establishing successful ideas to create new value. This is a very big definition about innovation. So, normally when you and I, when you think about innovation, we think that a completely new product or a new service which is not known till today is developed. That is what is called innovation. But by definition, it is not so. If you look at this particular definition, innovation is a process by which a domain, here domain pertains to a particular field of activity like finance, marketing, production, general management, manufacturing. These are the domains. So, innovation is a process by which a domain or any product, right? Whether it can be a toothpaste, it can be a toothbrush, it can be a talcum powder, or it can be a computer, whatever it is, or a service such as lawyer services, legal services, then dental services, or any other insurance service, banking service, all these things. It is a process. Innovation is a process by which a domain, a product, or a service is renewed. Okay? Not that it is something new. Today, we have to go to a bank to withdraw money. We also have to go to an ATM to withdraw money. Tomorrow, if some bank offers you, just let us know how much you want. We will deliver it to your house. Home delivery of cash. That is also innovation. What is it? It is a renovation or it is renewed. A service is renewed. Okay. Suppose today the Colgate paste is coming in a tube. Just imagine the same Colgate toothpaste if it is made into a jar. That is also innovation. It is not necessary that a totally new product and new concept has to come out. No, a slight modification also is called an innovation. That is what is very distinctly given in this particular definition. A service is renewed and brought up to date by applying new processes, introducing new techniques, or establishing successful ideas to create a new value. I hope you understood the concept of innovation or the definition of innovation. Is there anybody here out of you six who has found it a bit difficult? Swapnil, तुमको समझ में आया?
हेलो
Yes.
हाँ सर आपकी आवाज थोड़ी घूम के आ रही है.
Is it same with everybody? Mona, Menka, आपको आवाज ठीक आ रही है?
सर क्लियर है आवाज तो?
हाँ, तो शायद सर तुम्हारा नेटवर्क का कुछ इश्यू है. Twinkle, did you follow?
Okay, sir.
Twinkle is on hold. Fine. Now, what is the characteristics of an innovation? When you say characteristics, you mean attributes. It also means features. So, what are the characteristics of an innovation? Individuals do not automatically adopt new products. They make a conscious decision of whether to use a particular one. That is, their decision to adopt an innovation is deliberate. The diffusion of innovations theory identifies the following 5 characteristics, which we are going to see in the next slide. But what basically the characteristic of innovation means here is, there is another saying that people are resistant to change. ये आप सभी को पता है. People are resistant to change. So it takes effect in the same way, in the same manner in innovation too. Right? So individuals do not adopt new products. Suppose I say, like I just took the example, there is a particular bank and they are offering you home delivery of cash. You don't even have to go to ATM. It may sound good. It looks refreshing. It looks innovative, and it is innovative. But how many people will immediately accept that particular service? There are people who will doubt it. क्या पता हम कैश मांगेंगे, वो जो कैश लेके आने वाला रहेगा वो भाग गया तो बीच में से. Right? Like that, you don't really adopt a new product immediately. हमको बहुत कॉन्शियस डिसीजन लेना पड़ता है. मतलब बहुत सारे कंसिडरेशंस को कंसिडर करके उसके बाद हम उस नया प्रोडक्ट या इनोवेटेड प्रोडक्ट को अडॉप्ट करते हैं. So that is the first characteristic of innovation, right? So there is a theory called the diffusion of innovation. Diffusion matlab the process of establishing a characteristic or an attribute into the public. Diffusion. So it starts with a company, it is diffused to the society. Okay, diffusion. So a diffusion of innovations, there is a theory called diffusion of innovation. So wherein you have early adopters, right, laggards, all these, they are, they come under diffusion of innovation theory. Okay. So it identifies the 5 characteristics that determine people's use of innovation. The first characteristic is relative advantage. हम क्या करते हैं जब कोई भी इनोवेटिव प्रोडक्ट हमारे सामने आती है, what we will try to consider, or before taking a decision, what we will look into is first, what is the relative advantage? As you see in the slide, relative advantage measures how improved an innovation is or over a competing option or the previous generation of a product. Take the example of our bank and that service. What is the relative advantage over how, either you are comparing it with another bank or the previous system, that is ATM पे जाना और पैसे लेने में और घर तक पैसा पहुंचाने की जो उन्होंने नया स्कीम बनाई है या सर्विस ओपन की है, इन दोनों में से रिलेटिव एडवांटेज क्या आएगा, ये हमारा पहला कंसिडरेशन रहेगा. बिकॉज वी हैव टू एक्सेप्ट दैट न्यू प्रोडक्ट और अ न्यू सर्विस. सो इट मे बी depending upon the product, depending upon the service, or depending upon whatever domain you are talking about, the improvements can be in the form of these areas. What are they? It may be better service, consolidation of multiple functions, improved interface, increased productivity, reduced user effort, saving of space or storage. ये जो है हमारे considerations हैं. किसके प्रति? Relative advantage. So whenever a new product or service comes into the market, the first thing a consumer or the prospective customer will look into is what is the relative advantage I get out of this new product or a new service. It may be any of these, better service, increased customizability, whatever it is. All this is given in your notes, so you can go through it. But the concept of having to understand what is the relative advantage is important. Okay? I guess you are with me. So the characteristics of innovation, the first one is relative advantage. The second one is compatibility. Okay. Look here, I think there is an example also given in this particular slide. Compatibility refers to the level of compatibility that an innovation has with individuals as they assimilate into their lives. Potential adopters need to know that your innovation will be compatible with their life and lifestyle. Right? So Apple's iPad is an example of innovation that a high level of compatibility with potential users' lives when released. See, here there is an example of Apple iPad, but you can take any of the smartphones you are getting into the market. What happens? It directly fits with our lifestyle. It is compatible with our lifestyle. Otherwise, we will not go in for such products. ओके आज के दिन भी केलेगांव में वो बटन वाले फोन बिकते हैं बहुत करके, वहां पर भी स्मार्टफोन्स आ गए हैं बिकॉज द स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ लिविंग हैज इंक्रीज्ड. द पीपल आर यूज्ड टू डाउनलोडिंग मेनी एप्स एंड performing their regular duties, responsibilities, shopping, everything through the apps. So it is fitting the lifestyle. Your lifestyle has become like that. There is a product also which is available like that. So it is compatible. So even a new version of a product comes, like you are seeing, there are 3 or 4 cameras, rear cameras, 2 or 3 front cameras. Right? It is still compatible with your lifestyle because you want them, you try to enjoy the features, and it is perfectly all right. So when such a kind of innovation comes, you accept immediately. Or if it is not compatible with your lifestyle, you will not accept that particular innovation. Are you getting it? We are talking about the characteristics of innovation. The first characteristic was relative advantage. What is the advantage over the previous version or the previous concept of a particular domain, product or service? That will be helpful to us. And the second one is compatibility. How compatible the new product or even an innovative product is to our lives and our lifestyle. Okay, so these are the first 2 characteristics. The third one is complexity versus simplicity. Which do you prefer? If you are given an opportunity, complexity and simplicity, which one you will prefer? Or this is one of the criteria for decision making. So complexity or simplicity refers to how difficult it is for adopters to learn to use an innovation. Complexity slows down the gears of progress. The more complex an innovation, the more difficult it will be for potential adopters to incorporate it into their lives. Right? Fairly simple. What it means, if you're trying to buy a new product, innovative product or a service, how complex it is. See, I'll tell you another example. There is a particular brand called Range Rovers in cars, Range Rover cars, which is also called an all-wheel drive vehicle, all-wheel drive vehicle, yeah, 4-wheel drive vehicle. So it comes with 9 automatic gears. Okay, transmission क्या है उसका? Automatic gears है. So whenever a person who is buying it, he has to really understand the system, right? How to drive that particular vehicle, because it's not very easy, because there are so many modes, and it is not in the form of gears, it is in the form of knobs. Low, high, medium, sports mode, all-terrain mode, mountain mode, this mode, that mode. It is so complex. Added to that, it is a hybrid, partly electrical, partly regular. इतना सब complexity है. Okay. So in fact, if you want to buy that particular vehicle, you need to at least go through a sort of a training or understanding about that vehicle for 2 or 3 days. Otherwise, you cannot drive that vehicle. There are certain cars like that. Even your Tesla electric car, which is supposed to be coming to India, it is a bit complex. People say it is very easy driving because it is an automatic car. You don't even have to hold the steering. आपको steering भी पकड़ने की जरूरत नहीं है. It will automatically take you. जितना simple वो दिखता है या सुनने में लगता है, अंदर उतना complicated है. Especially when you are considering it driving in India, it becomes complicated. That is why you will see, अभी आया नहीं है टेस्ला, आएगा और हम देखेंगे भी 100 टेस्ला कार अगर इंडिया में आती है तो लेने वाले 3 या 4 ही रहेंगे. ओके, शौक के लिए, नाम के लिए, राइड के लिए खरीदने वाले बहुत रहेंगे, मगर कितना वो एक्चुअली रोड पे दिखेगा वो हम सभी देखने वाले हैं. सो कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी वर्सेस सिंप्लिसिटी, राइट. टेक फॉर एग्जांपल अदर व्हीकल्स, सिंपल गियर सिस्टम 1 2 3 4 5 गियर, या नहीं तो ऑटोमेटिक स्कूटर, सिंपल. सो if your product is innovative, it should not be complex. So people, before accepting that particular product or a service or a domain, will also check whether it is complex or simple. So the first one is relative advantage, second one is what? What is the second one, Mona?
Sir, compatibility.
Very good, compatibility. Third one is complexity versus simplicity. The fourth one is trialability. Trialability describes how easily potential adopters can explore your innovation. Trialability is critical to facilitating the adoption of an innovation. Potential users want to see what your innovation can do and give it a test run before committing. This exactly happens in the example that I have given you, Range Rover car. They provide an opportunity for you to give a trial. जब आप शोरूम में जाएंगे, they will offer you, please. ऐसे सभी बड़े गाड़ियों में होता है, जैसे कि मर्सिडीज बेंज जो टॉप वर्जन है उसकी बात कर रहा हूँ, रेंज रोवर बोलो, लैम्बोर्गिनी बोलो, और कुछ ऐसी गाड़ियां, स्पेशलाइज्ड गाड़ियां हैं जिनको आप पहले टेस्ट करने पड़ते हैं वेदर इट इज कंपैटिबल विथ योर लाइफस्टाइल, विथ योर स्टाइल ऑफ ड्राइविंग, और विल यू बी कंफर्टेबल विथ द होल कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ सो मेनी टेक्नोलॉजीज, ये वो, उसमें इतना कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है. आपको एक मौका मिलना चाहिए ट्रायल लेने का या समझने का, whether it is that product or any other product. Right? Even if you consider some, say, आजकल डिश वॉशिंग मशीन आ गई है, it is an innovative product. Right? डिश वॉशिंग मशीन आप लोगों ने सुना होगा, किसी के घर में होगा भी डिश वॉशिंग मशीन. So it is not as simple as it sounds, or they want us to perceive like. Right? You need to really understand how it works, what all can go into it. So trialability, once you make a trial, or if you go to the showroom, or if somebody comes and demonstrates it to you, like it has happened with RO वाटर फिल्टर जो आप सभी के घर में लगा हुआ होगा, तो एक बार पहले आके वो डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन देते हैं, आपको बताते हैं सर ये इतना सिंपल है, आपको यहाँ से ये कनेक्शन और ये चालू रखना है, आपको इतना पानी बाहर जाता है, ऑल दिस ट्रायलेबिलिटी. बिकॉज व्हेन इट केम इनटू द मार्केट इट वाज अ इनोवेटिव प्रोडक्ट. नोबडी कुड थिंक अपने ही घर में पानी को प्यूरिफाई कर सकते हैं, आरओ. So when it started, so trialability was the main aspect. So this is the fourth characteristics of innovation. So before accepting a particular innovation of a product or a domain or a service, we will look into such characteristics. The last one is observability. Observability is the extent to which the results or benefit of using an innovation are visible to potential adopters. Observability extends beyond having earlier adopters use an innovation in view of later adopters. Okay, so the extent to which the results of a new and innovative product is visible is also a matter. Somebody will say, buy this particular washing machine, you will reduce costs by 10% on electricity and your soap consumption. अगर कोई ऐसा बोलता है, आप हमारी वॉशिंग मशीन लो, 10% आपको इलेक्ट्रिसिटी कंजम्पशन कम हो जाएगा और साबुन का खर्चा भी 10 से 15% कम हो जाएगी. कब मालूम पड़ेगा? जब तक आप खुद नहीं उसको एक्सपीरियंस करते और रियलाइज करते कि हाँ सच्ची में 10% हुआ है. और ये हो गया अर्ली अडॉप्टर्स. मतलब आप पहले आपके फैमिली में लिए हो या आपके सर्कल में लिए हो, आपने ये पहचान ली और ये बात आपको दूसरों को बताना है. लेटर अडॉप्टर्स. ओके, सो अर्ली अडॉप्टर्स फर्स्ट शुड ऑब्जर्व. और ये ऑब्जर्व कब करेंगे? व्हेन इट इज एक्चुअली विजिबल. जब प्रोडक्ट सच्ची में जैसा उन्होंने बोला वैसा काम करके बताती है, तब आप ऑब्जर्व करेंगे और दूसरों को बताएंगे. So it will extend beyond early adopters use an innovation in view of later adopters. Okay, so you should be in a position to understand the benefits, observe the benefits, and be in a position to recommend it to others. So these are the 5 characters of innovation. ऐसा कोई नया प्रोडक्ट निकला, इनोवेटिव प्रोडक्ट निकला या सर्विस निकली या कोई डोमेन ने नया प्रोडक्ट ऐसा शुरू किया, it will not be immediately accepted. हम ये फैक्टर्स को कंसिडर करेंगे. कौन सा? रिलेटिव एडवांटेज, कंपैटिबिलिटी, कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी एंड सिंप्लिसिटी, ट्रायलेबिलिटी एंड ऑब्जर्वेबिलिटी. यहाँ तक का कुछ डाउट्स है आप लोगों को? काजल, आई थिंक यू जॉइंड अ बिट लेट. लवीना, एनी डाउट्स यू हैव? Menaka, are you able to hear me? Nobody is giving me any reply.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Don't tell me. Anyway. So, I think, yeah, you must have understood this, or if you do not understand, you can get back to my, the same video recording after the lecture. It will be available in the chat. आप डाउनलोड भी करके बाद में भी देख सकते हो. Okay, so anyway, let's proceed to the next topic, that is sources of innovation and types of innovation. First, we will be looking into the sources of innovation. What are the sources that help us innovate? Okay. All of you must have heard the name Peter Drucker, the management guru. Peter F. Drucker. He has written many books. He is from Harvard. There are 7 sources of innovation. The first one being the unexpected. Innovations can take place unexpectedly. They can happen by chance. Someone might just stumble upon a new idea or a product. Okay, so innovations can take place unexpectedly. They can happen by chance, and someone might just stumble upon a new idea or a product. आप में से कोई एक एग्जाम्पल इसका ले सकते हो क्या? द अनएक्सपेक्टेड सोर्स ऑफ इनोवेशन। हाँ,
न्यूटन्स ग्रेविटी थ्योरी।
न्यूटन्स ग्रेविटी थियरी इनोवेशन? इट इज नॉट इनोवेशन, इट इज अ डिस्कवरी। उसके पहले भी ग्रेविटी था ना, मगर न्यूटन ने उसको देख करके डिस्कवर किया। न्यूटन डिस्कवर्ड द लॉज ऑफ ग्रेविटी। प्रीवियसली ऑल्सो ग्रेविटी वॉज देयर, जो भी ऊपर से फेंकते तो नीचे ही आता था। न्यूटन ने देखा कि वाई, ओके, yes, so many examples are there. कोरोना की वजह से कितने सारे नए इनोवेशंस आए हैं, कितने सारे फील्ड्स में।
Sir, everything is digital.
Education field.
Digital, okay. The technologies were there, but we have found innovative uses of how to make use of digital technology in all walks of life. We are seeing it in education, we are seeing it in medicine, we are seeing it in almost all the fields today. We are going online. People have come with so many innovative ideas. थोड़ा हमारे पास अगर टाइम रहती तो, या आप लोग मेरे सामने भी होते, तो शायद एक एक करके हम इनोवेशन के बारे में सोचते और बहुत सारे एग्जाम्पल्स को आगे ला पाते। बट सिंस वी आर सिटिंग एट वेरियस प्लेसेस, so we may not have that kind of opportunity, but please think, right, at least after the lecture, unexpected innovations क्या बने। Even Apple, Steve Jobs ने जब नया प्रोडक्ट निकाला था, so it was an unexpected. He was working on something, but suddenly penicillin. Of course, it is again not clear innovation, but you're working on something else crops up, unexpected. So what is incongruities? When the need of incongruent with the supply, when the need is incongruent with the supply, innovation might be born. Incongruent matlab which is not compatible, which is no longer relevant. Right? When the need is incongruent with the supply, innovation may be born in an attempt to resolve the existing incongruities. People might innovate. For example, as the population of cars grew, there was a shortage of parking area. In an attempt to solve the incongruity between parking area and parking shortage, the smart car was born. इसका मतलब ऐसा है, when the existing infrastructure or the existing form is not sufficient for the actual use, then new things will be innovated. यहाँ पर जो एग्जाम्पल दिया है, आप देखिए वो पुराने फिल्मों में या पुराने इंग्लिश फिल्मों में गाड़ियां कितने इतने बड़े थे। आपने कभी सोचा है? आप दिलीप कुमार के पिक्चर देखो, अशोक कुमार के पिक्चर देखो, मतलब पुराने पिक्चर्स जो भी देखो, इवन शोले तक का, डॉन तक का, गाड़ियां बहुत लंबे बड़े बड़े हुआ करते थे। बट as the number of cars increased, people's capacity has increased to purchase a vehicle. What happens? The parking areas became very, very tight. Now the concept is small hatchback cars or medium cars with hatchback type, so that it can be parked easily. What is it? Incongruity. Between what? It is incongruent with the supply. So this is how another type of innovation can also be expected. This is another source. One is the unexpected source. The second one is the incongruities. The third one is the market structure. An existing market structure can also give rise to changes of innovation. This is how Google was born. Google shaped the search engine market. Before Google, the search engines were not as perfect, and Google brought all of it in order. Okay. So if you look at the market structure, here we are talking about Google. You can think about any other product also or a service also. Right? The market structure, when there is some imbalance, or there is some displeasure between the service and the customer, then the solution to that occurs. That is how innovations can also occur. That is also another source of innovation, market structure. The fourth one is necessity. We all understand what is necessity. We also say necessity is the mother of invention. So you don't need a better example than that. So necessity is the mother of invention, but it is also the mother of innovation. Microscope. That's the example that we are taking here. It was born out of the need to delve deeper into microbial world. Needs always set us thinking. And we should actually thank the microscopes. Because of that, we are in a position to understand what the virus is or what kind of bacteria it is, because we are able to see as something which is invisible about 100 or 10,000 times bigger than what actually it is through a microscope. We are able to analyze its structure. We are able to analyze its content, and that is how the vaccine has been developed. Where it should attack, what points it should attack, what is the content and all that. Right. So previously there was no equipment or nothing wherein you can actually see what is inside so that we can bring out a solution. But microscope has necessity has made people invent a microscope. Okay, that is one more example. That's another source. Demographics. What is demographics? Our lifestyles. The number of people in a particular age group, in a particular gender, in a particular income group, income bracket, you can say. So all these consist of demographics. Our lifestyles can also be a source of innovation. We all have our lifestyle needs. For example, we feel the need to smoke. However, since smoking is dangerous, we made e-cigarettes to satisfy the urge. Okay, so the example is clear here. Lifestyle. Okay, but even e-cigarettes are bad. Let me tell you. But it looks sophisticated, right? In tune with the lifestyle people have. It is even allowed in the aircrafts, most of them. Okay. So demographic is also another source of innovation. So what we have seen till now, there are 7 sources of innovation. The first one is the unexpected source. The second one was the incongruities. The third one, market structure. The fourth one, necessity. The fifth one, demographics. And the sixth one is changing perception. Our perceptions, they change. We think or we have an opinion about some product, some service, some issue, something today. But over a period of time, our perception changes. We may no longer believe in that. So changing perception regarding things can also give birth to innovation. Earlier, the overweight people were seen as healthier than the leaner ones. However, the social perception of healthy has undergone a big change, where fat people are seen as obese and unhealthy. आज के दिन हम सभी ये कॉन्सेप्ट को अच्छी तरीके से जान गए हैं, इसीलिए तो इतने सारे जिम्स आ गए आजकल, जिम कल्चर ज्यादा हो गया। क्यों? एक जमाने में जब आदमी अच्छा हट्टा कट्टा रहता था तो व्हाट वी यूज्ड टू से ही इज वेरी हेल्दी, आज भी बोलते हैं हेल्दी है, मगर हेल्दी दूसरी ओर से अनहेल्दीली हेल्दी। ओके, सो योर फैट, there is a lot of fat in your body, you can get BP, you could get heart problems, you could get diabetes, whatever it is। ऐसा हमारा परसेप्शन चेंज हो गया। एवरीबडी नाउ वांट्स टू बी फिट, either for beauty purpose or for health purpose। Everybody wants to attend gym, everybody wants to go for a walk, jogging, cycling, all this। Today's culture, changing perception, this has created so many innovative products। आप जिम के अंदर जितने भी प्रोडक्ट्स देखते हो एक्सरसाइज करने वाले, एवरीथिंग इज इनोवेटिव। ये सभी काम, ये सभी मसल्स के लिए अपने पूर्वज लोग, दे यूज्ड टू वर्क ऑन द फील्ड्स, इन द फील्ड्स, दे यूज्ड टू लिफ्ट वेट्स, दे यूज्ड टू वर्क, इवन द लेडीज एट होम, and they used to exercise, that way they used to exercise and keep their bodies fit। आज के दिन people have innovated, ये घर पे आराम से बैठेंगे या ऑफिस में आके डेस्क में बैठेंगे, तो फिर वैसे काम करने के लिए ऐसा इक्विपमेंट चाहिए। सो यू हैव दीज लेग प्रेसिंग, लेग प्रेस, ये शोल्डर प्रेस जो भी बोलते हैं जिम में, सब एवरीथिंग इज इनोवेटिव प्रोडक्ट। ओके, द लास्ट वन is new knowledge। New knowledge can also be a source of innovation, whether it is nanotechnology, biotechnology, or even artificial intelligence। New knowledge in any area is the source of innovation। The science keeps progressing। Okay, so new knowledge, it's also another source। See, as a man gets more knowledgeable, as the man develops more maturity, people think of having certain new things or do things in a new way, and that is called new knowledge, and they develop products and services with that। So these are the sources of innovation। See, I would like to stop the session here today because very few of you are there, and I would like to continue it tomorrow, same time 9 o'clock। I wish and I hope that many others will also join, since this is their first lecture. I will give them nudge. So when we come back tomorrow, we will be trying to understand the different types of innovation। Okay, so do you have any doubts in today's session? Any of you, Lavina, Menka, Mona, Naveen, Ravi?
No, sir.
Mona?
No, sir.
Sure? Is everything clear?
Yes, sir.